So welcome everybody, I'm Donna from Riverside Beads and today's tutorial is a beaded poinsettia. So this is a kit that we launched and it is designed by one of our bead weaving tutors and this is Sue's lovely project. So Sue's done some fabulous step-by-step instructions that you can hopefully see the detail of there that include all of the processes. She's done it with lots of lovely little images of beads so you can see it, and then we've got some words to support that, and hopefully this tutorial as well will, oh, I don't know if that quite came in the screen, but hopefully you'll be able to see it, and the kit is there for reference as well. I always find it handy to have the kits and the instructions so you've got them, and this project, because it's different quantities as we go around each time and you're adding extras, I always refer back to the instructions for this just to remind myself of how many I'm adding on each row. Now sometimes I vary it and I'll change the colours I'm using in the centre and things as well, and then the lovely white one that we've done that looks more like a snowflake, I've changed up the colours as well to give it a different style too. So without further ado, let's get started. So you can see this is the ornament. This is one I haven't stiffened. I'll to just confirm, once it's done, it's just done on a beading thread, which you do get in the kit as well. But if you want to stiffen it so it hangs more as a solid ornament, or you're making it as a piece of jewellery, you can stiffen it just with a watered down PVA if you haven't got any fabric stiffener or anything specific. And all I did with mine is I just did the watered down solution of PVA, sort of dipped it in it and then brushed it over a little bit just to sort of brush the excess off the beads. But because the PVA dries clear, it sort of just soaks through and into the thread and then stiffens that up to make it more of a solid ornament. So let's have a little look at what we're going to do and the process of this. There is some options to vary it, but some of the skills, such as the centre bit and working from that, are quite core to making the project. So I've started by threading my Nymo onto my needle, and I'm going to thread 12 beads onto my needle. Just make sure I've got those right. Yeah, 12 on there. Okay, so I'm taking that quite far down the end of the thread, and I'm just going to leave a little tail on there as well. Now you can either just tie that round and make a little knot, or, which is can often be a bit tricky. So some of my lovely customers have been giving me different ideas of what they do, and Sue the tutor sort of gives us different inspiration for her bead weaving as well. And I'm just trying to thread back through. I'm trying to do it all in one go there. I might have to do it in a couple. I'm just threading back through all of the same beads in the same direction, which is going to make a bit of a circle without me having to tie it. You can possibly give it a tie as well. So excuse my fingers in the way there. Okay, so I've gone through that and back round again. I'm just going to pull that tight into a little circle, and then what I can do is tie that off as well. Although often bead weavers find they don't need to do that, but do feel free if you wish to just pop a little knot or two in there as well, and that will just strengthen it up. So if I do one knot, and then I should be able to, it's not that I'm cutting this off or anything, so one knot will be fine. So I'm grabbing hold of that tail in my fingers there just to support that, and what I'm going to do is pass the needle away from the knot. So I'm taking that away there from the knot, so it's ready to go, and that is, believe it or not, a little circle for the middle. So just get that into its shape, and you can see, so that becomes your center part there. What I'm then going to do is pick up my next color. So for this one, it will be red, and it will be 3. These are all size 8 seed beads. 3 of my little size 8 seed beads there. I'm skipping the next one along, and depending which way you want to work, you can flip your work accordingly if you want to work towards it or away from it. It's quite a personal choice, that is, but often when we do patterns, we will show photos in a particular direction. So if you're brand new to it and you don't have a preference, then you can follow our pattern and how we describe it. So I've picked up 3 there, and I'm making like a little picot as such, which is a nice technique of edging on bead weaving projects. So I've popped 3 and I've exited the bead, so skipped one and exited the next bead along. I'm picking up 3 again, skipping a bead and going through the next one along. So I can either do this up in my fingers there, which I often do, or I left it down there so you could see what was going on. And I will carry on this until I've gone all the way round. I had pre-prepared a couple, but I may as well carry on showing you on this one because it's got my needle threaded on it. So I'm going around adding this picot. So 3 little seed beads, skipping a bead and through the next size 8 along. So it does also scale up and scale down quite nicely. So once you get familiar with the pattern, you can start experimenting with different colours, different sizes, and creating your own designs from this as well. So it's a fabulous product. It's one that we taught exclusively in a class, and then we were able to bring this to you as a kit. And now we're able to bring you a bit of variety with our new white one as well that we've got. So just pull that apart. It doesn't matter till we go back through. So on my last one there, so that core bit, that 12 beads, gives you that nice balanced picot edging. I say edging, it's not going to be edging, it's going to be the core of your poinsettia. So I'm going through that there, through my next bead. I'll do this in a couple of stages, so hopefully you get to see the process. So I'm going through the gold bead there. Okay, that's my centre bit there, but then I'm going to exit ready to add my next bead on. So I'm going to pass up through the little edging and exit on one of the points of the red bead that I added. So if you feel you need to go round that centre bit again, I probably should have gone round that centre, just passed it round again. But if you feel you need to do that to strengthen it, then feel free. I'll just get going with the demo though for now to show you how you need to add these on. So this next row, again, we're working in the red beads, and we're adding another row of the red. At any point you wish to chop and change this up, you can mix and match your colours. It makes really nice, colourful, multicolour ones. So each layer you could do differently. But for now, I'm going to follow on and make it as the poinsettia. So we've done the 3s, and then we're going to pass on. And this time we're exiting on a point, and we're going to add 6 and pass through the next point along. Sorry, 5 for this one. Apologies, 5. So 5 beads. And then we go through to the next point round and bring that in there. And then round again. It does look slightly distorted at various points during this. And I always try, if I need to put it down, I do try and finish a complete row round and make a little note to myself of where I am so I don't forget. So did I add 6 that time? No, I did 5. 3, 4. No, I did do 6. I have a bad habit of doing that, and when I tell myself it was something. No, 3, 5. That's fine. So I'm picking up 5 again. If I had gone wrong there, what I would do, I sometimes try and pass my needle back through the bead that I'd exited there and see if I can miss the thread path and exit back on the bead. That can be tricky, and you sometimes catch the thread path and it puts you in a bit of a pickle. So if that happens, just unthread your needle, pull it back from here. So you're pulling it back without the needle attached to it, and then get your correct number of beads and go again. So I'm going 5 and round to that next point. So I've got 2 more to go. 5 again. Round to the next point. So this is designed as an ornament, but it also works in lots of other home decor projects, in card making, you know, if you want to include it. I often would make a keepsake gift, make it into a card, and then people have got the gift as well to pop on their Christmas tree. Now, this is where you need to work out where you are. So you need to remember that first row round and those little 3 picots that originally were there. And that's the one I need to pass through. just to finish this last edging off. So you're keeping everything symmetrical and the same all the way around. And you will see, hopefully, at this stage now, it almost makes little points again. They're not as defined as the first one, but this is the next row round that we're creating. So then what we're going to do is we're always exiting up and then ready to add the next row on. So we're going to exit up through here. And this time we are not exiting all the way up. So we're going, we need to work out where our center point is. So we did 5, so it's that middle one. So I need to go up 2 beads there, not up the 3rd one. So this will vary on each row, but you've got your pattern if you're going for your kit. So don't worry, you've got everything you're going to need in there. Like so. And then this time we're going to add a little, so we're adding a little netting over the points. So we're going to add a netting, a little 3 bead netting again over here. Then we're going to take it down to where the dip is, and we're going to add a little 3 bead netting on here. And this is where we can introduce another colour. So if I start with, let's have a think. I'll go with my red, I think, first there. I may be just making up my design as I go along, but you've obviously got your pattern to go with. And I'm missing 1 bead and passing back through the next. So you're imagining as the little point like we did before, that adds that one on there. And then we've just got to work out where our next one is. So we just need to pass through 1 more bead. And then this time I'm going to pop a little green section. So 3 little green bits. Missing a bead, going through the next one. So once you're familiar with how you're doing your pattern, you can just pass through the next bead at the same time. So through the next bead, ready to add the little 3s on top of there. Let me just pop that down there. And then you can start to see it coming along. So we've got the little bridge of the 3, then the little bridge of the 3 green. Now I'm going to alternate and I'm back on my 3 red. Missing a bead and back through the other one. And then this time while I'm there, I can get through, I'm going to pass through the 2 beads this time, which is where I actually need to be to add my next one. It just starts to speed up as you get familiar, but don't rush it. I do pick this, you know, over the time I've picked it back many times where you just miss a bead or you're not quite got it exiting on the right place. So just take your time with your design until you're happy with how the process flows. There we go, you can see that's starting to come together now. Like so. So then I'm on my next one. So I won't carry on with each stage because it sort of just repeats itself. So then it will be a little picot of red over there, then a picot of green in the center. Now that one will look very, very similar to this finished one here, as if I didn't pull my center quite as tight as this one. So this one has got the little picots. So if you look here, I'm on this step. So I'm doing my picot of my green. I don't know if they'd call it a picot in the middle of here, but you see what I mean. The picot is the little 3. Green, then the red, then the green. So that's what we're doing. So we're almost creating this row round here, if you look at it in principle, but it's you're alternating your colours. So if you were to do all red, which is absolutely fine, I've done one like that as well, then you're just making more of a poinsettia with little highlights of green perhaps on the edge. And this is where you can start to vary your colours as well. And vary your sizes of beads like we were talking about. So just upscaling the pattern and downscaling it as well. So this is that row. Then we carry on and add an assortment of different beads each time, depending where you want to go. So what we would do next, I'll go revert back to this one, is we then add a further little edging over. Let's take the green one. So we exit one of the green ones and we would add a further selection of beads, and it's 5 this time, over the edge. So you're making like a little rim there. I think I've got a sample of that one, that stage. Do it with that stage or the next one. Okay, what this one is, this one's quite nice because it shows it in a different colour. If I just get this one off. Okay, it's attached to a little bit of card just in preparation for a tutorial. But so this is sorry, ignore me, that one's at the same stage. This is coming along to a next stage. So this one here then starts to add this next edge round. So we've gone there and now we're starting to add that next edge round, that sort of middle picot bit, and then the next row round. So you expand it out. So this is one of the next stages here. And then your final stage brings you to add in that final rim round there with your little picots on in your green as well. And then adding this on to the other side as well. So you can see how the bead weaving forms. We're working on Nymo, so this is Nymo bead weaving thread. I get on quite well with the Nymo thread. We do stock other threads like Wildfire, Fireline, and KO thread as well, which some people prefer. They don't tend to do as many colours, so this one's really nice. You can coordinate your colour if you want to, but if not, just go for something neutral, a grey or a cream perhaps, or something neutral that might go with lots of different projects. And if you don't want to invest in too many different colours of thread, but Nymo is a good choice. It's a couple of pound a roll, and you can coordinate it and start to get a bit of a stash. So I use a lot of red for Christmassy projects. I use a lot of teals because I do a lot of bead weaving in teal, and grey is always my stock one. So if I haven't got a shade, I often go to my greys. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight into our Beaded Poinsettia kit. This same kit makes a beautiful snowflake. So I just wanted to, bear with me a moment, I'm going to try and share you in our website and just show you some of the bits on there. Just let me get the right bit. Okay. I'm hoping that's going to share. Is it sharing the right bit for you, or is it sharing? Let's see what that shares in for you. So I'm hoping that maybe shares in our website there. So you can see this, hopefully. So this is the Beaded Poinsettia ornament, to make 5 of those. And if you are interested, I'll just go back to our homepage. So if you ever need to go, you just click on the little logo there. This is our homepage. And then I'm actually going to go to our news section because I know it's in there. And these are our new kits that are coming up. So we've got our lovely Sparkle Spacer Crackers, which I'm showing next week. For anyone who tuned in last week, I had thought I was doing that this week, but it was booked as the ornament. And then it's the little Sparkle Spacer Crackers, the Beaded Poinsettia, the Beaded Crackers next week as well. So we've got those online ready. So this is the Beaded Snowflake ornament. So you can see the principle of this works the same. So the little circle in the middle, we've got the little highlights of colour. I've jiggled about with different ones here. You can put little extra beads in there. So this is just one of the styles of this. And it looks gorgeous hung up as well. I hung it up on some little trees and things just to see how it would work for us. So hopefully that will give you a bit of an idea. So we've got both of those ready and available from Riverside Beads. And anyone who's tuning in here on YouTube, do subscribe to our channel. If you're on our Facebook, please do pop by as well and watch our Wednesday tutorials as well. Hopefully that was everything there. So do pop by next week. We're on our beaded sparkle spacer and some of our little Christmas decorations I'm hoping to do. And for those of you that grab hold of the kit, enjoy and pop by to see us on Facebook to share what you've been up to. Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. See you again next week.